Hello, everyone. Let me start by asking you all a question. For how many of you is WhatsApp the most used app on your phone? Can you raise your hands, please? A good number of you, right? Unlike most people, for my husband Ajit and me, the weather app is the app that we use the most. Wonder why we use the weather app the most? Because we are building a farming company. And what is a BITS Pilani electronics graduate and an IIT chemical engineer doing building a farming company? Let me walk you through our journey in the last decade to tell you how we ended up here. Nizamabad is my hometown, and I spent my entire childhood here. I was waiting to grow wings to fly away. I was fortunate to go to a good college, land a very good job. I worked in 3 continents in 6 years, and I enjoyed my job. But then suddenly, at the age of 28, I had an existential crisis. That's when Ajit, my husband, prodded me to think about going back to my roots. Probably it'll help us, put some meaning back into my life and get us closer to finding our purpose. So there it was. We left our corporate careers, took a huge leap of faith, and we moved to Nizamabad in 2014. We spent a good part of the last decade here, and we wore multiple hats. We started our work with my mother's affordable private school, built it, scaled it, and transformed it to be one of the best emerging affordable schools in South India. And then with Ravish, whom you just saw on the stage, we co-founded Thai Nizamabad. And for those of you who were at Sangat last evening, you would have seen the vibrant community we've created right here in Nizamabad. The thing with creating value is it's very exciting and it's intense, it's very humbling, and it's very addictive. You can't stop doing that once you get used to doing it in a certain way. And when you cross paths with entrepreneurs, innovators, thinkers like Raju, Desh, Funny, and so many people we've met in Nizamabad during their visit to the Kakatiya sandbox, it has gotten us to think about how can we pole vault and how can we dream bigger, how can we make a larger impact and a larger difference. And that was very helpful when we started thinking about what to do next. We were sitting on this huge immersive experience of having lived in rural, semi-urban rural India, interacting with agri community. We live amidst paddy fields and talking to different people in the agri community and listening to their challenges, it piqued our interest in the space. And we wanted to do something to solve uh, the challenges and solve some of the challenges and some problems in agriculture. We have to experience it first. So that's when 3.5 years ago, we started farming ourselves. So in our current model, we lease land from large farmland owners who are not interested to farm anymore. We employ small and marginal farmers on a monthly salaried income, and we grow residue-free produce. So we take all the risk that, the short-term risk that sustainable practices have, but our focus is to build both social and commercial value. We want to increase the profitability of the land, but also while keeping in mind the sustainability. Now, finding resources to do pilots like this in rural areas is not easy. Starting up is hard, and starting up, especially in the initial stages in rural areas, it's even harder because it's super unorganized, it's messy, it's chaotic, there's a trust deficit. And all of this can derail your focus. We were very fortunate to have this ecosystem here. Korade, an entrepreneur, is probably around here. He is connected to the ecosystem, and he helped us find simple resources like a clear land that can be leased, reliable, trustworthy farm supervisors who could work with us on our farms, electricians on demand who can repair the pumps. So these are very basic things, but they can completely derail your project. We were able to do our pilots at the rate that we did only because of an ecosystem like the sandbox. For entrepreneurs like us who are building for Bharat and in Bharat, we need these ecosystems to sort of, help us find our footing. And the engineers that we are, we thought, we'll throw some good tech, build some good systems, and use good management practices to streamline things. It's been 3.5 years, and we are still uncovering more and more problems as we continue on this journey of agriculture. There is no doubt that tech has to be at the center of it. But like the speakers here said, we need several other elements to work in tandem. Community transformation, education and skilling to learn to use equipment, uh, rural development. Had in the last decade, wearing all those hats, I feel has helped us build an arsenal of tools that is required to attempt to build a business in agriculture that can deliver both social and commercial value. Our vision at Farm Chakra is to build a modern, sustainable farming company that can innovate on better crops for the growing needs of our population. Farming is a very weird mix of deep science and lots of hope. And dreaming to make a big difference is the only fuel that keeps us going. Thank you, everyone.